Let me see how things are working. Stream is active. I gotta figure out how exactly this ends up looking, because I had a little animated GIF background, but I just want to make sure if you know what exactly my connection quality is going to be, because I mentioned that the internet where I'm at right now is kind of chunky. That's why for a while I'm planning to just do probably just normal videos, and then once I move again and I get internet set back up, I'll probably end up just doing streams normally, like once a week or so, because that's what I want to do. I like streaming. I don't like streaming a lot. I think once I tried to like do it way more consistently, I realized like just because it like locks you in time, but I like to do it like on average like once a week. That's probably why I'm gonna stick to just normal videos and then do the reaction content coming up. I gotta figure out exactly what my overall plan is for that. I got a couple shows that I'm gonna be doing. Let me turn this on. Okay, it should be here for it. So you guys are for the official. Let me see. It should come up in a minute, as it were. Got Tartaros behind me just chilling. So what we're gonna be doing hopefully soon is I've got just general content planned. Gonna be talking about the series. We're gonna be talking about what's going on in Fairy Tail. We're gonna be talking about hopefully the anime popping off. It's gonna depend on exactly what the animation quality wants to do. No, so the plan is this is gonna be mostly just kind of like a little bit of a chill setup. I don't plan on this being like a really crazy long live stream. It'll be mostly just kind of setting up what the plans are, and then like it says it's going to be a test. Also, I wanted to try out this camera, but what we'll do is mostly this is going to be just kind of like an establishment one. We're going to be talking about what's going on, talking about stuff in the future. Obviously, like I said, this you can probably tell it's a little choppy from the internet, but what I'm going to do is just kind of, like I said, for the start, I wanted to test and see how it works. I'm considering getting an additional router. Then I might let that cat out. She's going through heat, so she's gonna be loud. Let me let this. Oh no, I have the door open. I can't let her out right now. What we'll do is I'm considering getting another router, because essentially right now I'm staying with family and the house is so big and the router is far away, so I don't have the best connection. What I might do though is I might get another router and then go from there and try and get everything set up. So that's gonna be a maybe. Like if you guys want me to do streams more, I'm open for it, but essentially like I would have to, you know, pay for an internet router and everything set up and get a, you know, the whole process set up to where I'm at. Not a bird cage, it's a cat cage. I got a catio for my cats in this room. Essentially we were keeping them in a spot in like this large, like half of my cats in like this large bathroom while I'm staying at my family's house, and one of them decided to chew into a pipe and made like a small water leak, so I ended up having to get a catio to bring him down here. That's Tartaros right here behind me, he's chilling. But yeah, it's just a catio. It's initially supposed to be for like being outside, but I have it right now just keeping my cats jailed up. But yeah, we'll look towards hopefully getting everything more underway when it comes to content, and when it comes to getting like the live stream back up and going. Like I said, I don't plan on it being like, you know, everyday live stream. I'm hoping more so to be, my hair's getting so long, to be planning on getting it. I don't notice sometimes, but I really need to go get a haircut. To be going towards what was I saying? Oh, trying to do at least just one a week. I would like to do one a week. It's gonna depend. Obviously, like my schedule, I've gotten back to getting some content. I think it was like a week or so after I was like, hey guys, I'm doing stuff with the channel again. I ended up having to do like a 3-week work project where I didn't have my computer for almost 3 straight weeks. So it was mostly just stuff I recorded and then uploaded and had set up. But what I'm gonna do some just extra content. Like I want to do some games. The game streams will probably have to wait until I leave, just because those are, I mean, like a decent game like stream part, like you can do say like an episode of a show and it's like 20 minutes, 25 minutes. That's pretty easy. Where it's like, I feel like if you do a game stream and it's less than an hour, it's probably not going to be that fun. That's one of the reasons I wanted to get this all set up too, because I wanted to do reactions to the 100 Years Quest anime. I think that would be fun to do, just to see like how exactly the quality of the anime works out. I obviously got my fingers crossed. I'm hoping that they really live into the hype for it and don't be lazy, but it's going to depend. Obviously, I know this company that, you know, they did the Eden Zero anime, so it's going to depend. But I don't really, I'm not going to be like a doomer about it and be negative, but there's always that kind of like feeling where it's like, oh, I'm not too sure. I've seen some of the clips from the Eden Zero anime and it looks like they did a good job, but I can see some parts where it's like, it might have that stillness effect, as it like kind of like what Alvarez suffered from sometimes. But there's also the fact that they probably have a much larger budget with the Fairy Tail anime, and I feel like over the last couple of years, there have been such a large display of high quality animation and stuff, ends up boosting the manga sales a lot, especially back volume. And with Fairy Tail having altogether, not including like all the other spin-offs, but just the main series, over 80 volumes, like even just getting like an additional, I'm trying to think, you get like 100,000 plus per, you're going to be getting over 8 million volume sales. And that's not even like crazy numbers, I would assume, because if something goes viral, that's all it really takes. And like for a lot of the time for things to go viral, you really just need like a couple good animation scenes and like a high quality anime opening or something like that. Like that doesn't take a lot for it to kind of pop off and go crazy, at least to like that degree. Not everything needs to be like what happened with Demon Slayer or Jujutsu Kaisen, where it just completely explodes. But I want to do reaction stuff. We're gonna do probably like a couple shows. I want to do, what's that, Ranger Reject. I've been putting off not reading that manga very specifically because I wanted to watch the anime, because there's not a lot of shows that I actually have that I haven't read the manga, and because of that I would love to have at least a few shows during the season. I'm lighting an incense, to where I haven't seen it, so it actually comes out fresh. Like with Fairy Tail, I don't mind because I can still be super hyped knowing what's coming up, and there's stuff that I definitely want to see just animated. No, I want to see that just played out, and I feel like I'll be more hyped knowing what's coming up, whereas there are some things that I'm gonna want to watch fresh. Don't Worry Kamano, Bungo Stray Dogs is on that list. I'll probably watch Frieren. I've put that one off. There's a couple things that I haven't watched that I know are would be interesting. Like I haven't seen anything from JoJo past part 3. I know Dandan is getting an anime soon. Oh god, there's a couple things off the top of my head I know I'm forgetting. I've never watched Konosuba. I know that's one with like a specific fan base, and like ReZero or any of those ones. There's a hair on one of my keys I'm getting off. But yeah, what we'll do coming up, before I put it out, my plan is to get probably like 4 or 5 shows and record at least 2 to 3 episodes of each of them before I put out there about, hey, come watch reaction content on these shows, because I've watched a decent amount of reaction people, and one thing that really I feel hurts the setup. Yeah, I need to work on the lighting. I just got a basic camera setup. It's got like its own light in, but I just wanted to. I didn't want to be like, yeah, I'm gonna spring for a few $100 camera, and then I end up not really doing it as much. Because my hopes is that like just whatever this camera was, like $40, I'll be able to make back pretty decently. I have a bad habit of being like, I'm gonna get into something, and then I pay for a bunch of stuff for it, and then I don't follow through with it. Just because like I like the idea and I want to be ready for it. Are those cats in that cage? It's a catio. It's a catio. I figured that would be really funny because I was like, the way that I'm set up right now, just in my temporary setup, you can see my bed through here. So I was like, it'd be a perfect spot to have my catio here. And look, Tartaros is just chilling. Tartaros is hanging out. He wants to be part of everything and just be out in the screen. You seen a Red Dungeon Meshi? No, I haven't. So I could put that in the list too. But like, I promised Kinmana I'm gonna watch Bungo Stray Dogs. I'm gonna watch Free Ren probably, Ranger Reject. I'll probably do Fairy maybe like once 100 Years Quest comes out. I'll put that as like, oh, you have to be a member to watch it. But but I'll do like regular, just a rewatch of the original series, and that'll just be for everybody. That might be my plan. I might do 100 Years Quest for everybody just because it's part of the channel, and then everything else. Because like, my plan is the only things I'm gonna have behind a membership is stuff like, you know, if I'm gonna watch, you know, if I watch Ranger Reject or Dungeon Meshi. It's something that if somebody's like only comes to my channel for Fairy Tail, they might not really want to, but they be like, at some point I might try it out. Or some people might just show up to my channel for one of these things and then end up checking out, you know, my other stuff. That's pretty much my plan with it. But I want to have any of my reaction stuff in addition to where nobody has to, you know, and nobody who's already here has to have like a membership in order to kind of like see what they're looking for primarily. Because the Fairy Tail stuff is still going to be my primary, but I want to have stuff just on the side for additional content. And I honestly really think that gaming streams and just stuff like where I can do a little bit of things on the side like that would be fun. Even if it's only like, yeah, 10 people want to watch it, it's like, so that'd be pretty fun. Like doing playing like hardcore World of Warcraft, I think would be really fun to do as like a planned investment. Because I like playing it, but I feel like it's more fun if there's actual like almost like an audience, even if it's like a couple people, because then at that point it's like, if I die, it's like, well shit, I die, I have to restart. Or it's like, it's more of an event if knowing that people are gonna see it. I think that's more fun. What's up, Izu? Yeah, his name is Tartaros. He is a good cat. He's a loud boy, but right now he's sleeping. He actually really likes it. I think he likes being up high, and he likes being somewhere where he's next to me. He wants to be like all over my stuff all the time. I think this is a good compromise that makes him happy. Stream isn't a bad thing. They're usually more chill. Oh, smaller streams? Yeah. I just want to have stuff to where I can kind of like have like a consistent extra. It's gonna depend. Dragon Ball Daima, I'd be willing to watch that. Like, I want to have, because I'm not like, that's one of those shows that I'd be wanting to watch at some point, but I wouldn't be as hyped for it. But if other people wanted me to watch it and it was part of my whole setup, then yes. So I do have the membership set up already. If there's anybody that wants to set up and support, I know Kenmano, appreciate it, my guy. That's why Bungo Stray Dogs is automatically on the list. But anybody else, like if you feel like it, I think I only have like a $2 membership and like a $5 one. I don't really remember what they are off the top of my head. I'd have to look. But anything that you guys feel like putting out there, like I've always talked about, is in addition. It's something just to support. It's nothing required. But it will always just be something that, how many pets do I have? I have 3 dogs and 5 cats. I did not plan on one of the dogs, and I did not plan on 2 of the cats. Essentially, one of my dogs, I picked up. He was like abandoned when I was doing like a job, and I ended up taking him. And then I have one cat that I kind of lost a bet and had to take. And then one cat just like, I was working, and then he just sprinted up to me out of nowhere, and he was like this tiny cat, like maybe like 8-9 weeks old, and it was like in this suburb area where there were no trees. It was like 109 degrees out. There were like dogs that were roaming around the neighborhood, and I was like, if this dude is on a short timer where he could easily get killed. So I ended up taking him with me. I do not have a happy cat. My only Fairy Tail named pet is Tartaros. Look, you can see one of my cats has his eyes glaring at me from the back. That glue? Hi, buddy. He's just chilling. Yeah, I don't have a happy cat. But yeah, so I don't expect anyone to kind of get put towards it until I have the content out. But I wanted to do just kind of like a test stream and talk about what's going on. I imagine, you know, because one thing too is once I get it going and it's not a live stream, it's just like a pre-recording. It's not going to be as choppy like this, and then I can upload it and it'll have a whole better setup. And then maybe when I move again, I'll be able to have better lighting, like an actual setup to where people, it doesn't look like I just kind of improvised this. I mean, this is a good start, as I genuinely do want to keep my YouTube channel alive. I do really like doing YouTube. The only problem is sometimes I get stagnated with stuff that's going on, and then my YouTube channel falls out of algorithm, and then people aren't checking out. Like I did that like Dragon God video, and then I did a video on Ignia when I came back, and those did really well. I want to do more stuff that, you know, obviously is going to be hyped for when the anime comes out and people want to come and check it out. So I got to really put some time towards it. I genuinely really want you know, good stuff for the channel and to keep it going. I get sad when it's like you know, you check out a channel, it's like they haven't uploaded in like 2 years. I feel like that's kind of depressing. Will I do gaming content? Yeah, so my plan is I will do gaming content probably after I move, or I'll have to do it in planned days, kind of set up to where or it's like I plan a day, play a game for like 2-3 hours, and then that's gonna be like the gaming thing for the week. I feel like it'd be more fun if I did it after I moved, when I have better internet and I have more time. I'm trying to find a job that I can work from home so I have more time for pretty much everything. Because right now what I'm doing, it just takes up a lot of my time. So I haven't had as much time to do as what I want to do. But you know, I have to be grinding stuff out until I can get to where I would like to do. And YouTube is such a hard thing to kind of keep up for consistency sometimes. But I want to do it. I actually enjoy doing videos and talking about theories. Like I genuinely have so much fun when I find out more stuff that makes Eleftheria seem suspect. It just makes him seem like a weird. Post it on Twitter. Let me post on Twitter and see if anybody wants to come chit chat. One sec. I feel like I actually remembered somewhat within time to post the stream, so I had to take a moment just to kind of get that all set up. Yeah, so what I'll do too is I feel like the router I'll probably get way earlier. Like I'm thinking about getting that within the next like 2 to 3 weeks. It's just gonna depend. But I genuinely really want to get that set up to where I can have like actual quality internet. It's just there's right now at my mother-in-law's house, the internet is not solid. She doesn't really need good internet, so I'm thinking about just getting I'm thinking about just going to freaking whatever I feel like I think there's only like Xfinity or Verizon nearby. Just go do that, get internet set up through them, and then call it good. I could probably set up my phone as a hotspot. I don't know if I want to do that though. It'll depend. So maybe once then, because like I said, my plan is maybe like 2 or so weeks after this is probably when we're gonna start seeing stuff come out on the channel for reaction content. I'm gonna do a couple additional things, like we'll probably do, you know, the Death Battle Fairy Tale episodes, maybe a couple like general other people on YouTube's content for stuff like that, and then kind of talk about it. Because I mean, like you have stuff where they'll be like, yeah, you know, Natsu loses to Ace, and then they'll be like, Natsu's biggest feat that they mention is like a fight with Zenkro or something stupid. Or it's very clear, it's like, yeah, you did almost no research and you watched like a season back in like 2014 and called it good. And I would like that not to be the the way that things go out, because I don't think there's not many other people that are doing fairy tale content, and I really want to get stuff in motion before we end up getting the anime. I mean, we've got 3 months, so it's not like we don't have time. You'll find a better job. The job I'm working right now is solid. It's just, it's tiring and it takes up a good amount of time. Right now though, I just got finished with like a 3-week work project, so I'm hoping that this is going to be a lighter week. If this is a lighter week, I promise to get a couple reaction videos set up. Like if I have a light week, say like I get an extra day off than planned, I'm gonna definitely do, you know, maybe 2 episodes of Free Ren, 2 episodes of the Dungeon Meshi, and like 2 episodes of Bongo Stray Dogs. And Ranger Reject. That's one that I personally really want to check out, just because I'm a Power Rangers fan, and I know that it's a Sentai, but I mean it's very of similar soul, so I'm sure I would like it a lot. I know it's like kind of like The Boys and like one of those shows, but in Sentai Ranger format. But I mean sounds awesome to me, so I definitely want to check it out. Yeah, Death Battle is pretty trash. The thing about Death Battle is you can tell when they don't do any research whatsoever and when they put in a lot of research. It's like they, hold on. This is going through my normal mic, right? Yeah. The camera that I got has, I think, a built-in mic, but my actual mic is better. So I'm trying to make sure it doesn't like double through it or anything like that. But yeah, Death Battle does not have very solid, research for a lot of stuff. Like I said, you could tell. I still remember very clearly when they called Natsu a bounty hunter as like his profession, and I'm like, not really. Like they, you know, the wizard job, like they do stuff for hire, but they're not bounty hunting. On top of that, like assassination based jobs, which is going to be more so of like it's direct bounty hunter, they're not allowed. Like they're outlawed for official guilds. Like you're not supposed to go after bounty hunting. Like you can capture people, but you're not going after, yeah, find this guy, take him out kind of thing. But yeah, so we'll see how things progress, see how things get set up. Like I said, I want to get, what's up, Iron Nancy? Yeah, we're gonna be getting stuff set up within the next, I still want to say 2 weeks. Do I see your Sonic question? I have not really played Sonic games. Like legit, Sonic is like one of those games I've barely ever touched. The only Sonic game that I've gotten really hard like into playing is oh god, what is it? Sonic Air Riders, the racing one. I thought that one was awesome. I thought that was really cool, to be honest. That's like Kirby Air Ride, where it's like one of those oh god, what is the song? Is it just Sonic Racers? Because I know Kirby Air Ride. Is it Sonic? Oh god, there's somebody in the comments that's gonna correct me and tell me. I know the Kirby one. I've played the Kirby Air Rider so many times. Or is it like Sonic Wave Riders or something? Iron Nancy is like me but Chinese. Team races. I just remember they had that bird guy. They had like a dude, he's like a parakeet or something. Team Racers. I remember playing that, but that's because my neighbor owned it. I don't think I've ever owned a Sonic game. I don't know. I've never been like a big Sonic guy personally. That's just for me. Like I was more of a Kirby dude. Like Kirby was the game that I always was like more so hyped for. The skateboards, yeah, it's like everybody in Sonic is like riding skateboards, which is kind of confusing when Sonic is on a skateboard. God tier music, I've heard good things. See, it's like one of those things, I'd be willing to try them out once I get moved, because like I would love to do YouTube more, but obviously like I have to get stuff more set up for it, to where like say like after I get everything going and I get like a much stronger setup with it, to where I can sustain, you know, putting whatever let's say like 4 to 10 hours of time on it, and you know, I guess it'd be like through a couple games. Like I'd probably focus on one game at a time, to be honest. But say it's like, oh, I'm playing whatever Sonic Frontiers, and I played that, you know, just that for whatever 3 hour, like 2 to 3 hours a day for whatever 5 days a week. That's gonna, you know, 10 to 15 hours. If I can get to where I can sustain that, I would. It's obviously like I need to make sure that I'm putting my time towards something good, because I really want to move. I gotta try and move in a few months, and I gotta put my time towards working. But I want my YouTube channel to be in a good spot to where it can contribute to all that, and I can move, and then I can kind of keep. I have a reason to keep it more sustained and to really focus. Oh, Kaiju number 8. I want to watch the anime for that. I've read part of the manga, but I don't really remember too much. So I figured like that would be mostly a blind watch, especially like after probably like season 1. But yeah, that's just stuff that I've got planned. But I feel like it's not gonna really, you know, I shouldn't expect anything until I actually have stuff out in the works. So probably within the next, like I said, probably in the next 2 weeks, 2-3 weeks is probably when you're gonna start seeing that pop up on the channel. I'll probably run a post. I'll probably run like a poll and something. Oh no, it's I just lit an incense. It's not, nothing's on fire. I guess technically the incense is on fire, but it's just the incense. You think I'm not gonna light something while I'm this close to all these cats? But yeah, so maybe what I'll do too is, you know, if let me check really quick to see what my memberships are, because I don't remember if I have anything over than a 5. I think I wanted to do a $5 or a $7 one, but I never got to it. But what I'll probably do is I'll probably have it so like anybody that, yeah, it's just member of the guild S class. So anybody that, what I'll do probably that does like S class is I'll put towards watching a show. Like if I can get a couple people to have it in there, then we'll use that towards what shows I'm gonna watch. Hey, you gotta get that setup fixed too, Kenmano. Why are you hating on Iron Nancy? I mean, he is a fairy tale hater for no reason. He hasn't even read the manga. I get so annoyed with that. That's the only thing that really like gets on my nerves. This is like it's anime only, and he's like, yeah, Natsu's fire is golden and then Dragon Force. Like, no, that is an anime only thing that I'm hoping so bad. I'm hoping so bad that they change that in the anime, like so badly. I need red scales for Natsu, and I need normal fire. I do not want to have that golden fire, because then it's like we have the whole part with Viernes, and it takes away why it's like cool to have a callback with the golden flames. And it's like, oh, if he's got golden flames all the time, well, it's like, well, what the how is that going to make anything even any like stand out crazy if for some reason he's always had this golden flames? I'm hoping that we just don't have that in the anime until Viernes again. I've never liked that. I've been annoyed with that forever. It's like, it's funny because the Tartarus arc in the anime is so good, but like the only part for me that really kind of makes me get irked is that final bit. Is they don't make Natsu's Dragon Force look the way it should be looking. They have the golden fire, and then I'm not a huge fan of the voice acting in it. Like if you watch when he used his attack against Zero, when he used Phoenix Blade, there's way more volume in his voice, but when it comes to the more gear fight, there's not as much volume. I get it's Natsu's not the one that does the finishing attack, it's for Gray, but I still think Natsu should be way more kind of just jacked into it. That's just my opinion. I've always preferred it to be like that. Oh, Iron Nancy doesn't know how to read. I believe that. I won't hate. Don't worry, guy. But yeah, we'll get things kind of sorted out. We'll get things just in the motion of it, and we'll figure out like the overall plan. Because right now it's more so like I just have to get the time set up. I see. I don't like that though. See, the golden flames make sense in the fight with Zero. It makes sense in the fights with Viernes. It doesn't make sense just for him to have gold all the time. And on top of that, Natsu's fire or Natsu's theme isn't supposed to be, you know, gold and shining light. That's supposed to be for more like Haru. So why would Natsu be themed with gold and, you know, a whole light shine? Natsu's not loud as fuck. It's really Natsu. I mean, he doesn't have to scream all the time, but there's a different volume in his voice when he uses it the first time versus when he uses it against Marred Gear. And that's more almost like, I like it way more like when we see it that way. I think it's way more hype, and it builds more into the scene. See, yeah, when he shouted for Gray, though, that was really cool. I wish we had more volume like that. I really liked that. But like when we were just seeing him, you know, just do his what should be like a big attack, and on top of that, it's at the time of that was Natsu's strongest attack, because like once we were at that point in time, you had stuff like, you know, obviously he has his roars, but you have his Crimson Exploding Flame Blade, and then you have his Blazing Phoenix Sword. So until we got Purgatory Slashing Dragonfire, the strongest known attack that Natsu had was his Phoenix Sword. Because, I mean, it's very clear in how it's set up too during the Zero fight, because he goes to use Crimson Exploding Flame Blade, and then it stopped while he's going to go attack Zero, and then bam, he pulls out something bigger. So it's like, okay, clearly this is a higher end thing. And so like for me, I've always been annoyed that they didn't do more with that scene in the anime, because it's clearly like his biggest thing at that point in time. So hopefully once we get Purgatory Slashing Dragonfire in the anime, they'll really go crazy with it. Your theories on Fire and Flame's members being capable of? I mean, in general, my belief is that Ignia is going to have it structured to where he has members existent to ultimately make himself stronger. Like if he's kind of like Georg's recruiting people to turn into Dragon Eaters in order to push the quest. I think if anybody is brought into Fire and Flames, it's somebody that Ignia thinks is beneficial to him and his whole rise in power. Or vice versa, where it's like he thinks that they're going to be beneficial in making Natsu stronger. Like if he made somebody like, yeah, you should be able to eat relatively any fire unless no, you don't need a real name reveal. I don't need to be given too much information myself. Maybe if we end up getting to like if we end up getting to where like my YouTube channel can pretty much sustain me as a full job, then we'll talk. But that's a long ways away. That's a long ways away. I think the voice acting in the final season is probably the best. Is finishing with oh yeah, the voice acting in the final season is really good. Like I really love when Natsu and Zeref are going to clash. I think a lot of the voice acting for that was fantastic. As a fan, I can't like Iron Nancy. You're mad at Iron Nancy? We're not doing a social security number reveal. If you get a Tartarus reveal, right, buddy? Tartarus is up here. He's hanging out. That's enough for you guys, I would hope. We'll have to see about that. But I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I mean, I'm sure there's lots of shows otherwise that I can watch. But that's kind of like where I'm at right now. There's a couple that I'm still interested in, and we're going to be getting set up. I would really like it if we could get... I'm trying to think of anything like that I haven't thought of. Like, obviously there's stuff that like, you know, at some point somebody's going to want me to watch JoJo, but I'm just trying to think of things in general right now that would be cool to add to the list. Quan is out. I think he says probation officer. I think he broke his parole. He was out bowling or something late at night in a few towns over, and he's getting in trouble. I don't know what Quan does. I know there's not a lot to do where he's at. Mostly just sit around and make offensive jokes. But we'll see. Oh, did anybody read the new series, Astro Royale? I thought that was actually a good first chapter. I know people were hating on the guy because he did Tokyo Revengers, but I thought the first chapter was pretty solid. I know like because one thing for this dude, I can like, at least from what I've seen, the only time his art looks really weird is when he tries to do very flat looking panels, where it's like a character standing straight, like looking somewhere, because the character ends up looking too flat, like almost like just like I know it's paper, but like it looks like they're just like they exist two-dimensional in their own bursts. I know there's that one panel where it's like a guy's laying on the ground and it looks like he's 2D and the other characters are drawn, you know, obviously supposed to be looking like they're three-dimensional in their environment. It just looks strange. Wait, what? I never a series but last arc of TR. Oh, Tokyo Revengers. I never read Tokyo Revengers. I never found it very interesting. I don't know. I don't really find stuff like that to be this as hype for me. Where it's like, yeah, it's mostly just a normal thing. Where it's like guys are fighting, you know, just regular dudes, but they're like, you know, teenagers that they're as strong as adults. I don't find that to be that hype, to be perfectly honest. Like I wanna check into something that's way more crazy. Like I like the supernatural aspects of things. That's what I like about this series. It adds like a whole extra degree of craziness. Was like, oh yeah, this meteor struck and people got these weird crazy powers and it looks like the city's going to be in turmoil and stuff. I think that would be really cool to see. I really like the structure. It's like the dude who did the Fantasies one shot, to where it was like this like 1940s to 50s Italian gangster style, but like all the different gangs had powers from different creatures of mythology. I still really am looking forward to the day hopefully that gets serialized, because I thought that was one of the coolest sounding one shots in a long time. Yeah, Quan is a criminal. He's on parole. Here's what Natsu's flames look like when he goes full Ignia flame mode. I mean, we already saw that, and unless it's like you want like a full dragon, it's gonna be like how we were before with like the dark red. I don't want purple. I don't think purple fits him. I like purple on Shiki. I don't like the idea of Natsu with purple. I think the dark red with Natsu looks really cool. The other facers will be serious wins Mirror Jane or Gray. Gray claps Mirror Jane. Like the people who think the people who take Gray being nervous about fighting Mary Jane seriously are the same people that probably think that Urza is stronger than Natsu, where it's just like at this like post Alvarez, no, it's just not really a thing. Oh yeah, Tartaros, he's being a good boy. He's just chilling. Tartaros, you come here. I would let him out, but I got the door open. I don't want him to wander around too much. He'll get in trouble. Yeah. I know, bud. I gotta put more shelves up in there so they have more spots to stand. He really likes being up high. I gotta put at least another high shelf in there so he can walk around and chill. Thinking about putting another one up here, or another one maybe like right here. Give another little spot for my cats to chill. Cause like all of my weeb stuff is in storage right now. And until I move it, I don't have it for like a proper setup. But I figured if like, anything is a good backdrop in substitution, it's cats. I'll just have some cats just chilling. But yeah, I'll hopefully my fingers are gonna be crossed that I actually let me think about that. Does anybody know? Do you have to have two phone numbers to have two different internets in the same house? I don't think so, right? You can just set it up. It's like I know that's how it used to work, but I guess that was like old before DSL. I don't really 100% know how like constructing all that works. I feel like it'd be fine in the modern age. I don't know. I think it'd be okay, because all I really need to do is I have to go to like I just pretty much have to go set it up, and I could probably get internet installed down here, like a better specific one. And then that way I can do streams at some point again regularly. But I kind of just want to have good internet down where I'm at. Because like this, so far the camera looks fine. It's just the internet has it being a little choppy. And I don't want to screw around too much with their internet, so I'd probably just rather get my own and then just have it set up down here. And then if anybody needs it, it'll just be existent. I'm going to look at that soon. I have to get my car fixed because my car battery died, and I just have my work truck. and I don't really know if I want to go do all that before getting my car fixed. All I really have to do is get a new battery, so it's nothing crazy. But I have to go plan out to that. But like I said, I've been at like a 3-week work trip, so I've had like no time to do anything at home for the most part. So that's something that I got to get set up. Hopefully, I want to say within the next 2 weeks. Hopefully, in the next 2 weeks, look at getting my car fixed, and then after that, I'll get my internet all set up. That's probably going to be my my plan. So just know once I'm actually able to stream again, we'll probably do at least one stream a week. I want to say. I don't think that they're gonna. I don't think it after that point it'll be an issue. Because that's been really the issue with me since moving, is just the internet is kind of chunky. I think Nazo, wait, you ever reacted Nazo Unleashed? It's basically Cell Boo but Sonic-fied through different stories. No, I don't think I've ever looked at that. I've never played like any of the Sonic games other than the racing one. I'm not a huge like. I wish I could do something to not have to drive. My hopes. This is what I'm really hoping in the next. I want to say 2 years. I want to get a job from home and then have it so I very rarely ever have to go out and use my car. I'm not a fan of driving a lot of the time. Like, I don't hate driving, but I'd rather not, just because it takes up a lot of time. And then it's like having a car is annoying. And a lot of the time like that just to own, because it'll be fine, and then there'll just be some random shit ass that you didn't even think about, and then it completely throws a wrench into all your plans. Like the fact I have to get a new car battery, and it's like, yeah, that'll be the goal for this stream. Anybody who feels like donating to the Rax car battery fund, I would appreciate it. It's not required, but it is appreciated. I have to get that figured out within the next, like I said, like hopefully week or two. Rune Factory 5, Dragon Force. I promise you, if I can get stuff sustained to where I have the time to put towards gaming, I will play Rune Factory 5. That'll be amongst the first few games I play. Because like I really want to do a full replay of Kingdom Hearts and then do it for the channel. I think that would be really fun. I love Kingdom Hearts, like stuff like that. I still want to play through Dark Souls. Like I played a little bit for Dark Souls 1. I ended up getting the Black Knight Greatsword, and then I stopped playing because I was busy. But like I will put Rune Factory 5 on there for sure. That's next to like, that's like the game equivalent of how I'm gonna watch Bungo Stray Dogs for Kinmono. I will definitely play Rune Factory 5 at some point. Oh, thank you very much, Iron Nancy, for the $9.99 going towards the car fund. I appreciate it, my guy. Anything that helps. In fact, I'm sure Tardos. Yeah, Tardos. Can you say hi to Iron Nancy? Can you say hi? Come back here. Thank you. I don't know if you guys can hear that through the mic. Actually, hold on. Let me see this. Is the cable long enough? Hold on. Hold on.
Tartarus, can you say hi to Nancy? Tartarus, come on, bud. You're great at meowing. Thank you.
I hope that was audible. I have to figure out if I have like the little back piece for my mic. Like the little piece right here fell off, and so I don't remember if I lost it or if it's in one of my suitcases or something when I moved. And I have the little pin, but it won't hold it. I'm not smoking anything. It's the incense. Once I move, you guys will actually see me smoking probably again. But I'm not. I can't really do it in my my mother-in-law's house for obvious reasons. But once I move again, I'm gonna be able to have my own place again. That's pretty much the annoying part. I hate moving. Moving is one of the worst things in my opinion. Just because it's like the process between each step has such a long, boring sit down. Elden Ring DLC stream. I swear, I promise you, we will do an Elden Ring playthrough. I actually recently restarted playing through Elden Ring. I can probably save doing that until after we go, or at least until we get the internet fixed, the internet issue kind of addressed. and then we will go from there to exactly what I want to do with that. And then from there we'll kind of move towards more gaming stuff. Because I feel like once I get like a decent amount of reaction content going, we'll probably be able to sustain enough to where I can put more time towards the channel, and then to where I can, like I said, do things like fun game things. You guys can see me get bodied by bosses for a while. You can do reactions to donations now? I didn't know that. Here we go. Dang, they really upped a lot of stuff. Thank you again, Iron Nancy. I appreciate it. This is going towards the getting my stuff fixed fund, the car fund. I am gonna try and do that, like I said, within the next like 2 weeks. Week or two, because like once I do that, I can pretty much just roll right into the internet place, get whatever I need to scheduled for them to come out, get a router and everything installed down here, and then after that point, like I said, I can do a week, you know, at least a weekly stream. I know Rax Raging Elden Ring. How many tries was it? The Tree Sentinel. I actually tried to fight one of the Tree Sentinels the other day, and it was pissing me off. It wasn't that bad. One of the worst bosses in Elden Ring for me was what is that guy's name? It's like Necromancer or Elder Garrett, where he's like a summoner and he summons that freaking skull snail. And I would fight him, but I would always lose track of the skull snail because like I'm a greatsword fighter, so I want to do all in and just go fucking beat some dude's ass with my greatsword, and I would constantly get kited by this damn snail. Like that's my weakness. It's like if I can't just go in and just go ham, like I'm gonna probably have a little bit of a rough time. The Fairy Tail games by chance, either Fierce Fighter, the RPG. I played the RPG on my channel when it came out. For the phone game, if I can figure out how to do the phone game on my PC and we can kind of sustain that, I will do that. Because I don't know if I can do it on I don't know if I can do it like that. With Elden Ring though, I'm trying to think. I don't think any of the other bosses pissed me off as much. That's like I think my biggest rage one. It's just some random side boss. I don't think any of the main ones made me too angry. Last time where I checked when I was playing my Elden Ring replay, well, I haven't played it in a few weeks. It's been like 2 to 3 weeks. I think I was fighting. Oh gosh, it's been so long. Crap, the dude, grafted guy. I mean, there's a lot of grafted people, but he's got the axe and he has like the dragon arm. What is that dude's name? Oh my gosh, it's gonna bother me. Somebody can tell me. But it is what it is. Like that dude was like the last general spot I was at. It's been killing my thumbs. It's been a console game. I'm being it should have been a console game. Also, like the thing is, the reason that they put more time, if I had to go guess, and just knowing how the like I know a decent amount about the gaming industry now when it comes to like construction for games, is that they probably put more time and energy with a higher end for the possibility of a higher yield, because the RPG, it had DLC, but it's not like you needed the DLC or it wasn't as alluring. But whereas like mobile games end up having a higher potential return because of the microtransactions. So they'll put more time towards it because they think that they're, you know, in the hopes that they get way more back than what they expect to get with like just one that's like a straight game. Are Dead Rock sales doing well? I think they're doing all right. But Dead Rock is like a monthly passion project. I don't think Mishima really intends for it to kind of go crazy. Unless maybe like the anime comes out and the anime pops off and then, you know, that ends up like doing back sales or something. But I feel like that would have to be a long time from now. Have I been keeping up the Eden Zero manga? Yes, I have. The only thing that's making me a little agitated lately is like I feel like Freya went down so fast. But she was really cool and hype. I'm hoping that she's not actually dead and we see her get back up soon. Oh, Moog. Oh, dude, you just have to get the one item that helps you with his bleed, and then you just kind of can press through it. Because he's not that much of a cock outside of that. What's up, Kino? How you doing, man? Definitely not getting an anime. The thing is, I could see it getting an anime because it's it's got really strong material for an anime. It would just depend, I feel like, entirely on the animation quality. Because Eden Zero just doesn't have the hypest at times, and I don't know. I think that's one of the things that like a space sci-fi series needs. I think that when they did the first setup for his overdrive, I thought that was great, especially like with the anime added stuff. Yeah, I know Quan is in trouble with his probation officer. Hey, what's up, Kino? We're going over just some general plans. I'm going to be doing reaction content soon. I'm going to set up with a couple shows, and I'm going to have relatively, I think, my opinion on the new designs? I think they're fine. It's gonna be one of those things where it's gonna depend more on how they're done through animation. I know some people aren't as hyped as the general design, but I think that it's one of those things, once we see it actually in motion, it's going to be the determining factor. Because, for instance, and this is a different series entirely, but I know that people had similar kind of like not sures about the animation style for Egghead in the One Piece anime, but then the style that they're doing for when they want to pop off is really holding strong. So we'll see whether or not they're going to do that with the 100 Years Quest anime. I feel like, though, because the biggest thing for me when it comes to the difference, though, for Eden Zero and Fairy Tail is Eden Zero was a new show that didn't have as much of an established fan base, whereas Fairy Tail has a much larger, stronger fan base established. There's just a bunch of people in waiting that either are anime onlys, or they don't know about 100 Years Quest, or they were waiting for the anime to come out or something or other, to where if they really put the energy towards the 100 Years Quest anime, I think it'll really help with back numbers, and it will do a lot towards the overall sales. Because we could easily get even just like a 10% increase of the total sales. What's that, like 7 to 8 million? And then that's a lot. That's a lot of just general money. And that's like not even going that crazy, because I personally really think that if they could really pop off, that could really drive up the potential of it, because it's not something that's even just like, yeah, it's a guess. It's like it happens constantly. And especially with like bigger series, like look what happened with Bleach. I think Bleach's volume sales went up like 20 million plus after the anime return, because it's like not only is it people that were fans want to buy more, you also have new fans. You have people that want to get into the series, people that are like, oh well, now I really want to collect more and get the physical volumes. It ends up doing a lot more once. You saw my dog. My dogs are both set up right now. Those are just my cats. I will get Tartaros. Here's what I'll do. I will get Tartaros if we can get another $20 collective. If we get another $20, I will get Tartaros, and he'll come sit with us for the stream. But I gotta put some incentives. Tartaros is a fancy guy. He doesn't show up for nothing. He's just staring at me now. Hi, buddy. Yeah, Tartaros agrees. Well, Toei and JC staff are doing different animes or different animals. The 100 Years Quest anime better than Eden Zero anime. Yeah, but you have to think of it as more of like Toei has a lot of times where their animation quality would look bad, but those are also different periods of time. Do I have Quan's turtle? No, Sheldon is not with me. It depends on the budget, it depends on how much time they've put towards it, and it depends on how exactly they think it's going to return. Like, do they think that they're going to get the money they spent back? Because that's a huge aspect of whenever they put out these times. Like, again, look at the Fairy Tail RPG and the Fairy Tail mobile game. I know there's a couple mobile games, but we're talking specifically about Fierce Fight. You can look at the style of them. I personally prefer a turn-based game. Like, I prefer the style of the anime, or sorry, the RPG version of the game. But I really like that the mobile game has like story era no, what am I like accurate moves. Like early gray has like ice make knuckle and stuff, and it's just like those early attacks and things that, or kind of like lost to time. I think that's really cool. But when it comes to it, the RPG, generally it's like if you buy the RPG, that's your contribution towards their sales and like the profit of the game. Whereas a mobile game, you can easily spend more than the RPG's value over the course of a couple months, because all it takes is for you to be like, okay, yeah, I'm going to make a microtransaction this month, and then maybe you do it again the next month, and then the third month, and collectively over those 3 months they make more, and all they have to do at that point is just add in more characters, add in more little extra stuff. And on top of that, it's easier to get more people into the engine of profit if the game itself is free, because it's like, say you have you have the mobile game, 10 million people buy it or something. Or the RPG. Okay, it's 10 million, but then you're able to get 20 million because the game is free. And then at that point, it's like, if you then make over the course of whatever 6 months, let's just say 6 months, over those 6 months, if you're able to make 2 to 3 times what the RPG is worth, then that's a much bigger general investment return. That's why a lot of RPGs and a lot of mobile games are having more kind of crazy styles, is because they have a higher yield return. A Dragon Ball Budokai type game for Fairy Tail. I would love a fighting game. I would prefer, though, if they made like a fighting game as like, if for the series. Well, I kind of want them to do a Shonen Magazine one, but I'd want to do like a Fairy Tail one where it's like, so it's not like, oh yeah, I get 10 people from Fairy Tail, where it's like I could have 50 people instead. But I think it'd be really cool to do a crossover, and then I can have like Meliodas and stuff too. That I've either cooked up or into something disgusting. See, I don't think that that's really an issue. My guess is more so is like there's stuff that they were just finishing up. Because what was it? The dude making the music, he didn't finish until recently, right? He didn't finish making the music until recently. So there might just be stuff for the anime that they just haven't had the full setup done. Like maybe they wanted to focus on the animation and they didn't want to do any of the voice acting or any of the music until later. If they have this long of a wait and the anime isn't like solid, I'll be pretty depressed on that. I don't need it to be like crazy movie quality every episode. My only hopes is for the parts that should be hype are hype. And then if it's like, oh yeah, them hanging out and talking to Mercphobia about him, being essentially like a little hospital for fish. And it's like, I don't need that to look pristine movie quality. I'm perfectly fine with that just looking normal. It's the parts that are hype itself. Those are where I want to actually see things kind of really play out. Your side, the potential to be fighting him at the PV mode stands now as utter dog shit. Well, that's the thing though. If the game does well and it's able to make enough money for them back, and that's one of the concerns for the ongoing player base, you'll get those you'll get those bits back. You'll be able to actually see real time of them doing things for the fans and for the customers. Because that's one of the big things when it comes to a lot of modern games, is they don't want to spend their time towards anything unless there's profit into it. What's good, Kinmano? I told him if we get another $20, I'll get Tartaros for the stream. He's just back there wandering around like a shark. I guess that's the only thing we really added recently. Anyone watch the Fortnite Apocalypse anime? I'd probably put that on the list too. Because I actually really like Fortnite more than I like Seven Deadly Sins. Seven Deadly Sins had more just kind of like random hype moments where they'll just do like some crazy power thing. But I think Fortnite has a better story, and I like the characters more. I really like too that all the way through up until the time skip, you had stuff like Percival had crazy power levels, like raw power level, but he didn't have the experience or skill to really utilize it properly, similar to Gwen. And I like that a lot. I think that's like that was one of the things I would have liked to see with Seven Deadly Sins, but we didn't have it just because obviously the format of it was different. Have I read Ragnar Crimson? I have not. Tartaros. Oh, he's brawling with one of my other cats. Buddy, can you guys settle down? Is that an Oscar glue? Hi, glue. Are you being bad? One of my cats is being a pain. You're fine, Tardaros. He's trying to get up here. Buddy, come up here. Come up here. You make it up here? It might be too much of a jump. Yeah, I gotta put in at least like 1 or 2 more platforms so he can properly move around. Oh no, he's fine. What are you talking about? Do you see that jump? He's perfectly fine. He's making me think that he's incapable of doing them hops, but he's fine. I'm trying to see if I got at least the jump in good quality during it. I'm just staring right now at him in the stream. No, he made up there. Damn it. I already said once I get started on the actual reactions, Bongo Stray Dogs will be on there, Kid Mono. Don't worry. Kid Mono, you've been a long-standing supporter of the channel, and I appreciate it. So Bongo Stray Dogs will absolutely be on the list. It'll be amongst the first things that I watch. Iron Nancy never wants to stream. He's always mad at it. So what we'll plan to, I might do, yeah, I'll probably do it to where if anybody is if anybody wants to recommend shows to watch, I'll probably have a setup for it to where they can put their votes towards, but I'll probably just have that as like a certain member thing. I gotta have some incentives, but I just have to figure out what all those are gonna be. Like what is the value, you know, proposition for being, you know, joining the channel. I wish I didn't have these last 3 weeks of work because I could have put way more time towards it, but I haven't had the time. But that'll be something maybe in the next, like I said, I gotta look at my schedule. But essentially, if my schedule is lighter this week than, you know, than I currently believe, then we will. Because I don't imagine I'm gonna be doing like a long week this week, just because this last 3 week plus was so extensive. So I'm hoping that maybe this week will be lighter and I can look into getting my car fixed. I can look into getting a new internet router for down here. And then after that point, I'm pretty much going to be underway of getting the channel back into full motion. Because I think it'll be a little easier too if I can just go like this and then talk about a topic. I have to think about what I want to do for like a format layer. Because I think let me pull up my OBS really quick. See, when I'm looking at OBS, it looks fine. It's because of my internet connection that the stream itself is choppy. So it's not the camera, it's not my computer. It's purely right now my internet connection. And I've had solid internet connection until I moved here, but it's gonna do. Kinmono, I promise you that'll be week 1. Once I get everything set up, that'll be week 1. What's up? I hate power. But like, I need to get. I want to have like. My goal is to have. I mean, I'm trying to think. Maybe in the first week, 10 to 15 members to the channel. Right now, it's mostly just Kinmono. I appreciate it, Kinmono. But I know I've been slacking on the channel, so it's not like I deserve to have more at the moment. I gotta get my stuff going, so you guys feel properly given content back for anything that people want to put towards it. Thank you, I appreciate it. I hate power. My hair is really long though. I really need to get a haircut. My hair is so long. I haven't gotten a haircut in like 6 to 7 months. I think this might be the longest my hair's ever been. I'm not 100% sure off the top of my head, but I think this might be the longest my hair has ever been in my life. I have an ongoing thing though where like my dad hates it when I grow my hair out, so if my hair is long when he comes to visit, he ends up paying for me to go get a haircut, and it's just been a long ongoing thing that I like to do. He gets all mad, and then we hang out and we go to lunch and I get a haircut, and that's like one of our traditions. Like I've always kind of like, every time I've ever thought about getting a haircut, I'm like, well, what if he comes to visit? If he comes to visit, then I don't get to go do this, and it's just going to be a regular visit. Like, what the hell am I going to do? You're finally working. I appreciate it. I hit power. Like anything that you guys put towards it, I appreciate. Like even if you just do the basic membership of $2 a month, that's gonna be big. Like that's gonna be really helpful because if I can get a decent amount of stuff set up, and then eventually maybe if I can keep momentum, then I can actually like do YouTube more so in line where it's beneficial to me and beneficial to the people who want the content. Because like there's a degree of obviously like people who want certain things, like, you know, Kanmana really wants me to watch Bungo Stray Dogs, right? You know, people, you know, Dragon Force wants me to play Root Factory 5. Things that people want specifically, where it's like, you know, you can, if there's somebody you watch, there's a chance that there's something that you want to get like their specific takes on. Like I love seeing like people who are getting into Mashal, for like just random you know, reaction people were getting into Mashal over the last few months. And so I was checking out people's channels that I've never even seen because it's like, oh, cool, people checking out Mashal because I want to see what their opinions are of it because I genuinely really enjoyed the series. Will you expand into more shonen anime? Yeah, it'll so essentially it'll all just depend on the momentum of things going up. Like if I can get like a solid structure set up for the channel, then I'll do more things. It's right now, it's like I have to kind of balance between doing extensive work and then doing things otherwise for like side ideas and side projects. Like YouTube is just rough. I know Nancy probably is doing more solid stuff than I am right now, but like I remember when I started doing YouTube, you probably made like twice as much money from the ads, like 2 times if not more. And I know that was also after the first adpocalypse, so it's gotten rougher, and YouTube is just more hungry for not sharing. But that's just because like YouTube is such a big monopoly. Did you say I do my anime stream or my anime list stream? Yes. If we get to 30 members or something, maybe I'll do it like that, or like actually 25. I think 20. There's like certain numbers that I have OCD about. 25 is a solid one. It's a quarter of 100, 5 times 5, half of 50. Like I have a love for all of those numbers. Like all of the, like everything between like certain percentages 1 to 100, like 25, like 10, I'd say like 5, 10, 25, 50, 75 and 100. I don't know why. I've always liked those numbers. So maybe once I get to like 25 members or something, we'll do a stream. As I imagine by then it's probably going to be like 2 weeks, 3 weeks before I even kind of get started. So maybe like a month or so in, 2 months in, and I'll have like good internet again, and then we can set up and do a my anime list stream. I know you've been wanting to do that, and we can just sit on there and add stuff to it so people can see what I've seen. I've always talked about I'm more of a manga guy, so it's not like I don't imagine it would be a forever stream. Most of the time when I like heavily watched anime though was like early 2010s, because like there's just stuff that'll come out I'd rather read the manga a lot of the time, and then there's stuff that'll come out that I'm not as interested. Like we got so many isekai series. I'm gonna see if I can pop my back. So many isekai series, and I'm not an isekai kind of guy. Isekai has just never been my thing. Like you gotta have a specific kind of isekai for me to want to actually check it out. You think Mishima will start a new weekly manga once Eden Zero ends? I think yes, but I kind of hope that he ends up putting more time towards Fairy Tail and focusing on Dead Rock for a little bit and kind of gets those hammered out before he ends up just jumping into another new series. Now you can do a manga on my list too. Yeah, I can do that too. It takes time to watch anime. So yeah, there's like the thing for me is like I've been wanting to do reaction stuff for a while, so I haven't been checking out a lot of new things because I figured at some point I can add them to the list. Like I can watch Freered, and there's going to be people that just like Freered that might check out my channel just for that. So it's going to depend. I'm actually looking forward to that one because I'm going to have a lot of time to put out my racism towards elves. I've had a long it's actually really funny. Like, have you ever like had a moment where you like had a stance or an opinion and you thought back to like how long you've had your take on that? I remember back still in Lord of the Rings 1 coming out, I still didn't like elves, and I think that's as far as I can tell where it started. Was I just don't like elves in I didn't like elves in that movie. Like they just seemed so smug and rude, and I just remember not liking them. And then it's like, what was it? Free Run was happening, and I was like, ugh, elves. And then I was like, when did this start? I could do a debate stream. I would love to do like more versus stream. Maybe like talk to Broku or Quan and see if I can get him on there. See, it's not like the thing is. Oh no, the names of a lot of isekais are annoying. Those I do agree with. Where it's like that time I got reincarnated into a coffee salesman out by the West River in the night shift, and it's like, man, come on. Why can't you have like? There's those times where I imagine it sounds better in Japanese, but it when it ends up translating into English, it sounds horrible. I'll be pissed. I'll be pissed if Ignia has an elf in his guild, because right now we don't have elves in the series. I don't need elves in the series. We don't need any damn elves. Let's keep it elf free. Why do we want to have elves running around? Elves are usually so rude. We already got dragons. We don't need elves. We can just kind of keep it pure. No elves. I wake up every day happy that Mishima hasn't put elves in his series. We don't need them. More generic the name, the better the quality. I mean, that doesn't surprise me. It just depends. Because like usually when they have like some crazy long name, it's mostly just like that's a gimmick, and then they don't really kind of go too crazy out of the gimmick. Granted, that's not 100%. Like you could probably pull up something with like some ridiculous name, and it's like, oh cool, the series is nice. But I wouldn't bet my money on it just statistically. It's usually not a good sign. I don't know. Elf Dragon? I mean, that happens sometimes. Like, I know in Warcraft, there are a lot of dragons that take forms of elves when they're hanging out with mortals. Angels, we have demons. I don't know. Because, like, the way that Mishima does it, so if you, like, look at demons in Black Clover, for example, they're more like biblical devils, and then the demons just are, you know, results of human rituals and whatnot and stuff that turns them into demons. Whereas the devils are way more like these like biblical shadow evils that kind of lurk around from another dimension. Whereas demons in Fairy Tail, from what we've seen, for the most part, like there's like random demons, but like we have the dudes on Galuna Island who are a demon race, but they aren't evil and they aren't even powerful, and they just kind of are of a different species. They, you know, clearly people will just freak out about. And then you have the Aetherius, but the Aetherius aren't like, they're demons and devils, but only by technicality. When you actually look at like the structure of them, the Aetherius are living book people. They are living stories that take on flesh and form. Then that's why they're able to still kind of like exist. Because if you count them as more of like just what they are, like I said, they are living stories. Zareth has made these books take on physical shape, because he could probably write one to not be a demon. There's nothing about the Aetherius in concept, you know, equals demon. It's he made them like that on purpose. You know? It's one of those things. I imagine it just kind of depends more on the creator. Like you could probably like make an Aetherius, and then they're more like an angel, because at the end of the day, the Aetherius is just like play on for like ethereal and ether nano, so stuff made out of raw energy. Actual gods, we have actual gods though. We have a handful of them. It's not like they're everywhere, but we do factually have actual gods. Like Kronos is factually a god. I wonder if we're going to get this fire god, if he's going to be an existent character, or if we're just going to be getting like lore to the title of like the place, like, oh, it's called the dragon or fire god's castle because of this event, and it made people call it that because of something that happened with Ignia. I wouldn't be too mad at it if it was just like some really cool lore thing that connected to it, but I would like to actually figure out if we're going to be seeing anything with a fire god. I still think it'd be really cool if we got a fire god and he's the one who started the guild, and he's like the guild master, or at least like, I don't know, because it's like I really like the idea of Ignia starting the guild, but I'm trying to think of how like a god would work into it, or maybe like Ignia made it after he ended up beating this god and taking over. I think that would be pretty sick. Gods are weaker, seem weaker than dragons. We've only seen one legit god, because the gods of Yakuma are war deities. They aren't like the same as someone like Kronos, who Kronos is the god of an actual thing. He is the god of time. Whereas Ikusa Tsunagi and Ragdo Rigora are like, just battle deities. They are just powerful summons. I wonder if we're ever going to actually see the other ones for like that whole set. We still have 16 other ones, and we don't really need, it's not like they have to be characters. I would love to see somebody just summon like 5 or 6 of them, and we just add that to the list. You give each of them an ability. Oh crap, what's the dude? Phantom from Mar. He had a similar thing where he just was like this master summoner, and he would just pull these guys out. Each of them would have like a one trick ability, and they were just annoying to get around. Man, that series was awesome. I think Fire God just a title Igni gave himself. The thing is, though, that makes me think that that's not the case, which again, that could be the case, is the fact that if it was Ignia specifically, I feel like that it would have dragon in it, or it would have a dragon theme to it. That's why I think that it originally didn't belong to Ignia, and maybe there was a Fire God. Because I think it'd be really cool if Ignia at one point, while kind of trying to go through the strength version, trying to climb the ladder, was like, who's the strongest fire user in the world? And then went and found this Fire God, and maybe at the time of, Ignia was weaker than him, and then kept just kind of like getting pushed and like climbing the ladder until he overcame him and took the castle as his own. I think that'd be sick. And it's like, we have say we have the Fire God either subservient to Ignia, where he's like a minion, or he's like locked in the basement and he's, in a dungeon, and Ignia's running the show, but he keeps him around just to kind of like, flex on him kind of thing. I think that'd be hype. I think that'd be cool. A God Slayer? I think a God Slayer would be cool. If we had another Fire God Slayer, that'd be cool, but I would like there to be multiple. Because I think it'd actually be pretty sick if we had somebody who had multiple God Slaying elements. Or like if Mishima was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna have God Slayers, but they're gonna be kind of just existent, but it's not like any of one of them is gonna be crazy. Like if there was a whole squad, kind of like Diablos, but they were God Slayers, I think that'd be pretty cool. Or we just have them for the sake of like lore and world building and, guys with powerful magic, but they aren't gonna be the main focus. And whatever we figure out with Brian, because I don't think Brian is human. My guess is he's a demon, or he's a dragon in human form, or he's some artificial being. I actually think it would be really sick if we had somebody in Fire and Flames who could do living magic, and it was like similar to like Zeref trying to force himself into suicide. If Igni has somebody who's just like told constantly, make stronger people for me to fight, make guys that you want to be able to defeat me. Kind of like in the same style, but it's like, some guy's goal is to have eventually create something that can defeat Ignia, and Ignia wants him to keep trying, because he knows like every single time you try and I succeed, it's only going to make me more powerful. I think that would be really cool. God Serena, and that's God Serena's name is more of just like, it's just more of what he calls himself. I don't think it's supposed to be actuality. He doesn't even use God-like magic. God Slayers are like, that's like Mishima's like beat 'em up stick guys. I don't know, like they just never were the hype beasts. Zankro was awesome. Sharia and Olga, like they're not the same people that you were hoping they'd be, which is fine. Not every character is going to live up to like the title and position the moment they do anything. It's more of like, who are the ones that are going to, who are the people that are going to stand out. If there's any shows that you guys want to recommend, or anything you guys would really like to see once I get going with all the reaction stuff, feel free to post it in there. Feel free to post it in a video, or what you guys want to do, because as of right now, I'll probably get to that, like I said, I want to say like 2 weeks plus. 2 weeks probably is going to be the plan. Thank you, I appreciate it, Kenmano. I am the god hero. What's Rax raising now? We'll see about how that'll plays out. I don't know. I feel like the hero is just kind of old. I like the raising bit though. I think it's cooler to say. Texas brisket or Nashville hot chicken. I'd probably go hot chicken. I feel like hot chicken. Like the thing is, so this is something just about me. I love spicy foods, but I can barely handle it. Like I'll be struggling, but I'll just be like in borderline tears, but I'll be enjoying the whole time for it. Yep, I wish Zencro. I thought Zencro was gonna survive and make it through. Like in my brain, I always thought like so at the time of when we were doing the Serious Island, I had the idea for a time skip, but I didn't think it was going to be as long or play like that. And my brain was, oh, if something happens to Hades, maybe Zencro will become the guild master, and then Natsu would have him as like an eventual rival, and they would fight again. I thought he would be kind of the character he ends up brawling again, kind of like what happened with Blue Note, and be the measuring stick. But it ended up, you know, Zencro, bad place, wrong time, ended up getting himself completely murked. So you don't want to be that guy. You don't want to be that guy that decides to swing too high and ends up being dead. I feel like that's just not fun for anybody. You end up just getting completely destroyed with no possible way of getting out of it. Oh gosh, don't kill me. Oh my god, can I click on something? Am I silenced? Sorry, I was playing a game while I was doing this. I'm gonna get myself killed. That's fucking great. No anymore can we build up your spice tolerance? Yeah, so like I try. It's like, but my tolerance level is so low that it's almost non-existent. Yeah, the Zencro rivalry was something that I anticipated and I thought was going to be the case. There's a bunch of people like that I thought was going to be the case for Natsu, but we ended up getting that with Ignia, which is still hype. Like, I'm not going to complain about that. Let me see. I've been streaming for a little over an hour. We'll stream for a few more minutes. Probably, like, I'm playing my game right now. I'm probably going to get to, like, 45, and then we'll call it good. But yeah, just as a refresher, anybody that feels like it... Oh, wait, Mishima doesn't use Diablos. I will be mad if we don't get more Diablos, but I don't know. I feel like with Celine as the guildmaster, it wouldn't make sense to not do more things with them. But I also think that the next time we see Diablos, there's going to be some form of twist, like where they were attacked and maybe they're in mid-combat. It'd be really cool if, like, what if Natsu and Co. got to Fire and Flames and they're like, where is everybody? There's just a couple people. And then we pan over and Ignia jumps Celine and crew, and there's a couple members of Fire and Flames, and they're going to be fighting Diablos members. I think that would be hype. Ignia is the fire dragon god. Most hype current antagonist. He's not a bum like the Gorosei. He's not boring like Sukuna. He's not he's not just kind of sitting in a chair forever trapped in slow release like Lucifaro. And we're gonna see Lucifaro be hype at some point, but one day. I'll probably check out whatever that is at some point, Kenmano. I believe in you and your spicy food knowledge. I'm just not. I would wish that I had the capabilities of fight spicy foods, but I don't. One day I might. It's a possibility. It's just gonna. It's a struggle for me. I'm trying to figure out where these guys I gotta kill them right now are. At some point, maybe that's gonna be part of my plan. Because once I get to like actually being able to do games, and then maybe when I do like one of them will be I'll do some World of Warcraft stuff just extra for people. I can try and entice a couple people to come play and to start a guild, and we can do some wizardry. It'd be sick. Diablos better come back. I'll be pissed off if they don't. But like I said, I just don't see it happening. I feel like it'd be really weird not to bring Diablos back at this point, because Celine is with them. So they have fast travel, teleportations anywhere. They have like she is one of the two most powerful people in the world. The only other person that's as powerful as she is Ignia. So like there's just very little belief that they could just disappear. Like there would have to be something really crazy for them to not really be included into anything, because they can just show up at any point. There has to be something that's keeping them distracted, keeping them busy to where they're not participating in current events. because they went to go look for Athena, and then like Athena is just, you know, she's with Gold Owl. So what exactly is keeping Diablos at bay? What exactly is keeping Diablos from showing up and joining into events? The only thing I can think of is like, you know, they were kind of like set in a, like almost a lull moment, and because of that they just don't have the position to kind of just like pop back up. But because of that, they're, oh yeah, you know, they'll be arriving soon, and it's going to be like a plot twist kind of bit. That's the only thing I can think of for that. Like, what other reason would there be, you know? Because like it would be just be strange. Like, what would the point be to not have them show back up? Yeah, I've seen Classroom of the Elite, I think, once before, but I never really got too much into it. But I'd be willing to check it out for you, Kinmano. Wait, what is it with Igneal? No, Ignea and Igneal are two different people. Ignea is the son of Igneal. Let's see. So yeah, we'll probably call it good for here. The next time I stream, it'll probably be after I get my internet fixed up. For anybody that wants to, like I said, donations are open, memberships are open. The first handful of people probably that end up being members again will have a lot more kind of influence into what I am going to be watching, even if you only do the basic $2 membership, just because I gotta give thanks to the people who help kind of get stuff in motion. That's why Kinmano, I'm watching Bungo Stray Dogs just from the start. Yeah, don't worry, I have power. I will be back, but we'll expect to see it within the next, I want to say, like I said, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. And then after that point, we'll start looking into doing other stuff. We'll start, because once I get the internet fixed up too, we'll do like just like a couple regular streams, and we'll do stuff like maybe like the My Anime List stream, and maybe we'll do something where we talk about talk about whatever. They do that Urza's Saber Death battle. I don't think that was an animation. I think they just did it. Will Iggy have a harem? Probably has some random bitches. Yeah, anyway, I'll talk to you guys later. I appreciate people for showing up. I'm sorry that the setup is a little choppy and it's not looking as clean, but we'll get it fixed up before we get everything into motion. I just wanted to do a test and to kind of like talk to people and get stuff kind of like just figured out to what the plan is. And then the next time we kind of go about this, it'll be more so in line of what we're doing. So probably will have a chapter review on Tuesday, unless something somehow consumes all my time. And then after that, we'll get back to kind of just general, channel videos of like talking about different stuff and magics and characters and theories and whatnot. And then after that, and we have that kind of like moving again, we will do the reaction content and to start talking about some of the shows. I'll probably rewatch the death battles for the Fairy Tail ones, just because like I feel like those will be entertaining. And on top of that, I haven't watched any of them in years, so it's gonna be, I'll just give like a better input, I guess, of my opinions on them and why exactly I think they're horrible. Anyway, thanks everyone for showing up. We'll talk to you